Good evening. I will call to order the SMUD Board of Directors meeting of May 16, 2024. Please join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting of the SMUD Board of Directors will be cablecast on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel, on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T UVerse cable systems. This meeting is being recorded and will air on Sunday, May 19th at 2 p.m. and Monday, May 20th at 9 a.m. on Channel 14, and it will also be webcast at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Board meetings are streamlined live for our customers and other interested parties. Meetings will be archived on SMUD's website for later viewing as well. To view an archived SMUD board meeting, log on to smud.org to find a link to the broadcast. Please remember to unmute your microphone when speaking in order that our virtual attendees may hear. The microphone will display a red indicator light when the microphone is on. Please put all electronic devices in the silent mode while in the auditorium. For members of the public attending in person who wish to speak at this meeting, please fill out a speaker's request form located on the table outside this room and hand it to our SMUD security. Members of the public attending this meeting virtually who wish to provide verbal comments during the board meeting may do so by using the raise hand feature in Zoom or pressing *9 while you're dialed into the telephone toll-free number. And you will press that when it is time for public comment. Technical support staff will enable the audio for you when your name is announced during the public comment period. You may also submit written comments by emailing them to publiccomment@smud.org. Written comments will not be read into the record, but will be provided to the board electronically and placed into the record of the meeting if received within 2 hours after the meeting ends. Members may speak to items on the agenda on which the board will take action and may also address the board on other agenda items and items not on the agenda, but within our jurisdiction during the general comment meeting, period. The auditorium is equipped with a safety alarm. If the alarm sounds, please leave in an orderly manner via the exits to the lobby or behind the dais. Assemble in front of the building and wait to hear the all clear announcement from security before you re-enter. Chief Legal Officer, please conduct a roll call.
Director Rose.
I am here.
Director Bowie-Thompson.
Present.
Vice President Fishman.
Here.
Director Kurth.
Here.
Dr. Tamayo.
Here.
Dr. Sanborn.
Here.
President Herber.
Here.
All board members are present.
Great. Next, we have the 2030 Climate Action Tip, and Director Kurth will be reading that for us.
Thank you. SMUD is committed to 100% zero carbon by 2030. There are lots you can do to join the charge and help us lead the global clean power city movement right here at home. Summer's just around the corner, and in fact may already be here, and SMUD has many resources to help you save money and energy during the summer months. Air conditioners have the biggest impact on electricity usage, and summer bills. So by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, you can save between 5 and 10% on your cooling costs. Using fans, closing blinds on windows and that get direct sun, and changing your air filters regularly can also help you save. To get more tips on what you can do, please look at cleanpowercity.org, and don't forget to join the charge when you're there.
Thank you, Director Kurth. If there are no corrections, changes, or additions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. The motion was moved by Director Tamayo and seconded by Director Sanborn. Chief Legal Officer, please conduct the roll call.
Director Rose.
Aye.
Director Bowie Thompson.
Yes.
Vice President Fishman.
Yes.
Director Kurth.
Aye.
Director Tamayo.
Yes.
Director Sanborn.
Aye.
President Herber.
Aye.
And the agenda is approved.
Wonderful. We will now move to committee chair reports, and first on the agenda is Director Bowie Thompson.
Thank you. Our Strategic Development Committee met on Tuesday, May 7th. We had one item. The informational item was a presentation from the California ISO about resource adequacy and summer readiness. David Ernie, Deputy Director of Energy Assessment Division, gave a presentation on the California Reliability Outlook. He talked about our changing climate leading to more extreme weather events. He also spoke about improved grid planning processes as they prepare for extreme weather events. He discussed increasing the renewable energy resources and load flexibility to maintain grid reliability. He stated that they are prepared for the summer heat waves with contingency planning and resources that are coming on board. Mark Rothleader, the California ISO COO, reviewed last summer's resources and gave him an outlook for 2024. The 2024 weather forecast shows an increased chance of heat waves throughout the interior of California and a high likelihood of above normal temperatures in 2024. Their summer forecast continues to improve as they added additional storage and capacity since last summer. He provided a market update. Our John Olson, SMUD's Director of Energy Training and Contracts, provided a presentation to the board on its resource adequacy and forecasted conditions for summer 2024. Last summer's heat wave showed SMUD's peak load was 3,059 megawatts on August 16th. Heading into summer 2024, conditions are favorable and continue to improve compared to previous summers. SMUD's reservoirs in the U.S. are at full capacity. I just read, I believe that the companies were incorrect. I thought David was from the California Energy Commission.
Do we have confirmation from
Yeah,
staff?
that's correct, the California Energy Commission.
So the notes are incorrect. So just for the record,
Apologize.
David Ernie, W Director of Energy Assessment, is from the CEC and not from the California ISO. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Director Bowie Thompson. Next, we have Director Tamayo with a report on the Policy Committee.
Thank you, President Herber. The Policy Committee met on Wednesday, May 8, 2024. There were 4 discussion items and 1 informational item. The first discussion item was the monitoring report for Strategic Direction SD8 Employee Relations. The report showed that SMUD worked with community partners to engage more than 24,000 people in education about our zero carbon efforts and related energy career opportunities. SMUD's entry-level workforce pipeline resulted in nearly 4,000 students being trained, placed, or hired through various programs. Building on its outreach success from previous years, 2023 yielded the most diverse applicant pool to date. SMUD is in full compliance with Strategic Direction 8, and this is item number 6 on tonight's consent calendar. The second discussion item was the monitoring report for Strategic Direction SD12, Ethics. All employees and contractors in 2023 acknowledged the Code of Business Ethics and Employee Conduct, and over 99% were compliant with mandatory ethics training in 2023. This is item number 7 on tonight's consent calendar. The third discussion item was the proposed revisions to board staff linkage BL10 delegation to the CEO with respect to real and personal property. This delegates decision-making authority and approval to the CEO and general manager for the purchase, sale, or exchange of real property with a purchase price under $5 million and no more than $150,000 over 115% of the appraised value of the property. This is item number 8 on tonight's consent calendar. The fourth discussion item was the board monitoring report, governance process GP11, board review of internal records, governance process GP14, external auditor relationship and board staff linkage BL5, unity of control. The first informational item was a presentation of the board work plan, and this concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Tamayo. And next we have Director Kurth, the chair of the Finance and Audit Committee.
Thank you. The Finance and Audit Committee met on Tuesday, May 14th. There were 3 discussion items, 1 informational item. The first discussion item related to the 2024 update to SMUD's 2023 through 2025 wildfire mitigation plan. The 2024 update provides an update on SMUD's wildfire prevention and mitigation programs. The 2024 update was circulated for public review for 30 days. It will be submitted to the Wildfire Safety Advisory Board July 1st as required by law. This is item number 9 on tonight's consent calendar. The second discussion item was on adoption of a resolution calling for the election for directors of wards 1, 2, and 5, and request that Sacramento County and Placer County to consolidate that election with the November 5th, 2024 general election. The resolution includes determining the outcome of a tie vote by lot, requiring candidates to pay the cost associated with their statement of qualifications to Sacramento County voter registration and elections and/or the Placer County Elections Office, limiting the statement of qualifications to 200 words or less. This is item number 10 on tonight's consent calendar. The third discussion item was on the quarterly procurement report for the first quarter of 2024 and discussed potential non-substantive revisions to the board staff linkage BL8 delegation to the CEO with respect to procurement. The first informational item was an overview of the financial results from 3 months period ending March 31st, 2024, and a summary of SMUD's current power supply costs. And this concludes my report.
Thank you, Director Kurth. Next up, we have Director Rose, who's the chair of the Energy Resources and Customer Services Committee.
Right, thank you, President Herber. So the ERCS committee, we met on Tuesday, May 14th. There was one informational item which included updates and schedules on clean utility scale renewables, storage, and emerging technologies as part of SMUD's 2030 zero carbon plan. This included updates to projects required for the thermal transition. The status of projects like Country Acres, Coyote Creek, Slough House, and the recently commissioned Solano 4 wind power project, and planning for the Solano 5 potential upgrades as well. We also discussed developments in long-duration storage solutions, including lithium-ion battery storage at McClellan, the ESS iron flow battery, which has established the DSO, or Distribution System Operation Connection, and is in finalized testing for full commissioning at our Hedge Power Academy. And then there were also some updates on hydrogen production initiatives through the ARCHES project, the carbon capture project at the Sutter Energy Center, which was awarded $270 million by the Department of Energy last year. We also heard that I thought was interesting, that the pilot CO2 sequestration project that ours will be based off of was showing a 98% carbon capture efficiency, which was good news to hear at that. So this concludes the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Rose. At this time, we will take comments from the public on the consent calendar. I have not received any cards at this time, so let me ask the Chief Legal Officer, have we received any requests to speak from our virtual attendees?
No, we have not.
Okay. Items number 3 through number 10, this is our consent calendar. Item number 3 is to approve revised board member compensation for service rendered at the request of the board for the period of March 16th through April 15th, 2024. Item number 4 is to approve board member compensation for services rendered at the request of the board for the period of April 16th, 2024 through May 15th, 2024. Item number 5 is the approval of the minutes of the meeting of April 18th, 2024. And item number 6 pertains to the monitoring report for SD8, employee relations. Item number 7 pertains to the monitoring report for Strategic Directive 12. Ethics, and item number 8 pertains to proposed revisions to board linkage number 10. And last but not least, the delegation to the CEO with respect to real and personal property. Items number 9 and number 10 were reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee of May 14th. Item number 9 pertains to SMUD's 2023 to 2025 wildfire mitigation plan, and item number 10 pertains to adopting a resolution calling for elections for wards 1, 2, and 5. If there are no corrections, changes, or additions, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. The motion was moved by Director Sanborn and seconded by Vice President Fishman. Chief Legal Officer, please conduct the roll call vote.
Director Rose.
Aye.
Dr. Bowie Thompson.
Yes.
Vice President Fishman.
Aye.
Dr. Kurth.
Aye.
Dr. Tamayo.
Yes?
Director Sanborn.
Aye.
President Herber.
Aye.
The consent calendar is approved with all directors voting yes.
Thank you. At this time, we allow the public to comment on items not on the agenda, but within our jurisdiction. I have not received any cards at this time. Chief Legal Officer, have we received any requests to speak from our virtual attendees?
No, we have not.
Okay, very good. Then we will move on to the director's reports. And at this point in the agenda, we provide the directors an opportunity to report on SMUD activities. We will begin with a report from Director Sanborn in Ward 7 and work back from there in ward order with the President's report as the final item. Director Sanborn.
Thank you, President Herber. It was a rather slow month for me. I had a lot going on at work, but I did attend a couple of events. In fact, one was for my job. I was actually in Dallas anyway for EarthX, which is a very large event for Earth Day. And I was on a panel for the circular economy for my day job, but they asked me to also speak on behalf of SMUD about our amazing zero carbon plan and how we're going to achieve those goals. And I was on a panel with some very high-level people out of DC, nonprofits, and public sector venture capitalists, and they were just amazed at what we've been able to accomplish, and I was thrilled. It didn't cost us a dime. I didn't bill anything to SMUD, but for that time, I was there anyway. But it was exciting to have more people in other states know what we're doing and get really excited about it. I also attended on the 24th of April showcase for the Sacramento Academy and Academic and Vocational Academy Open House, where we are partners with them as our Sustainable Communities Initiative, where we're doing workforce development. We're taking their students and working with them on electrification projects. And one of them is taking an old lowrider in partnership with the Sac Regional Air District and electrifying the car. And the car was there. They're on track to have this ready in time for the 4th of July parade in Carmichael, which I will be in, and I'm very excited that it is convertible, and I'll be able to hopefully ride in this car and show off the amazing work of those students. And some of them were there, and talking to them was really impressive and fun to see them so excited about the project. And then on the 25th of April, I attended the Carmichael PBID annual dinner and awards event, and that's always fun to see the folks of Carmichael out working to keep our business community clean and profitable. So with that, I'll turn it over to Director Tamayo.
Thank you. One of the things that I especially enjoyed in the last few weeks was a tour that I had that was led by Lucas Raley, who's our interim director of line assets. And it was really just to observe some of the field activities. It also included watching some of the training going on of apprentices at Hedge. They were up rebuilding one of the 4,000 volt systems that they have up there to get their feet wet, and being observed by their instructor and closely watched to make sure that they were following all the safety procedures and ergonomic procedures. And then we did a bunch of different things. We went to the tool shop and then got a demonstration of a minimally invasive pole integrity device, and that was pretty cool. And then just some of the equipment that's used to manually lift up poles and transformers in backyards. And we went out into the field and observed a couple of different pole replacements, and I was very struck by how many different things, how many different aspects of how we do that are designed to minimize the impact on the customers that are there. And we go to lengths that some of our utility colleagues in California don't go through, and we try to, we'll go through a lot of extra steps to minimize how long people are without power, and oftentimes we're able to do it without any power interruption at all. Obviously, it was interesting to see the level of communication from the foreman to all the workers. Seeing the apprentices out in the field learning their trade, and once again the emphasis on safety. And finally, I'll end with saying that there was one of the pole replacements that was being conducted by one of our contractors, and they had very good safety measures in place. And there was a couple of neighbors that were just sitting out on their lawn drinking iced tea and taking pictures of it. It was pole replacement as a spectator sport, and they were there for quite a while. And I talked to the contractor. He said, people want to come out and observe, but we say, look, you got to stay out of the way. So it's very, very good to hear that and to observe that our contractors are bought into our culture of safety as well. Also mentioned that I met with Vince Valdez and Richard Falcone of United Latinos, and we're talking about a project that we're going to do with Maharlika Lions Club to reach out to neighborhoods in South Sacramento to encourage residents to put in trees, and we're going to work with the Tree Foundation to figure out how we can do that most effectively. And then finally, I had a nice meeting with a developer on Stockton Boulevard in Little Saigon, and he is putting in a 20 kitchen development, and it's all electric. Every one of these kitchens is going to be all electric. It's requiring, they told me it was 3 megawatts, so which is a very large service for this piece of property. And it also will provide electric vehicle charging, and they're going to use the facility not only for sort of startup businesses, but food court and supporting food trucks and demonstrating how electric kitchens are beneficial for the people who are operating them. And then finally, they also expressed, that developer expressed an interest in working more closely with SMUD in reaching the Southeast Asian business community in South Sacramento. So they've got a lot of contacts there, and looking forward to seeing what we might be able to do with them. So, and I'll conclude there. Thank you.
Thanks. Just a couple things on the want to report on from the last month. The one was it's the annual event that we have at the Police and Sheriff Memorial Park in North Sacramento to honor the members of the law enforcement community of Sacramento County who've been killed in the line of duty. And so it's an annual event. It's always quite moving, and we've added to it over the years where now we've included the survivors' families and have been able to bring together quite a community around the event. So always a sad but very meaningful event. And then just a couple of other quick things. Was able to attend the Sacramento Host Breakfast, which is a long-standing and I have to say a little bit different ritual in the Sacramento community, although it was wonderful this year that our very own Paul Lau is now on the committee as one of the hosts for the event. And so it's a nice step forward, put on by the Chamber of the California Chamber of Commerce. And with that, you know what, let me just stop there and say there was all the regular events that I attended to, which were the things in the North Area community with the Chambers of Commerce, with the PBITs that are there, and the various different organizations. So with that, thanks.
Great, thank you.
Busy couple of weeks, but I'm going to narrow it down to these 3 events that are all sort of related and also just really inspiring. I was able to attend and say a few words at our solar car race, which is put on for middle school age kids, I think, and then the solar boat regatta, which happens at Rancho Seco Lake, and that's more for college age students. And then also at Cosumnes River College, the Construction Industry Education Foundation does this tiny home build, and we were one of the main sponsors of that, and I was able to say a few words. And in each of these cases, these kids are just focused and driven and really excited by the opportunities that's in front of them to do something hands-on, real world, that you know, this is like, it's education and they don't even know it. You know, it's like going to school, but it's like going to camp or something too at the same time. And they're all just so focused. The weather could have been a little bit better for both of those solar events, but they persevered and got through it. And you know, what I love about these events and our involvement in them as sponsors is, you know, these are the kids that we're going to need for the skilled trade jobs of the future, for the technical jobs of the future, for the engineering jobs of the future. But even if these kids never come to work at SMUD, you're planting seeds. We are planting these seeds, and you never know where they're going to bloom. And I just think it's a fantastic thing that we're able to do that and play a role in these events, whether we're the main sponsor of the solar events, or in the case of the construction industry, just providing a little bit of background and some financing and some support there. But all 3 of those fantastic events, and the kids are just, you know, it's gives you a little bit of hope for the future. So I was really appreciative that I got to attend those events.
Thank you. Director Bowie Thompson?
Great, thank you. I wasn't here at last month's meeting, but I did have a few events that I'm sure my colleagues reported on last month. I did attend Cap to Cap, where we lobby as a region for our initiatives, many around economic development, and that's the team that I was on. I also attended the Energy Thought Summit, which is an annual executive summit in Austin that brings together some of our country's top leaders. It was our year that we had the most CEOs and C-level staff speak and attend, so it was very good, and we're well represented with SMUD, with myself speaking, Laura Angway, Brandy Bolden, and our CEO, Paul Lau. So we were really well represented there. And then I don't have the results. I don't know if somebody covered it last month when I was not here, but I did attend prior to that the annual Trout Derby, and I know it's one of my favorite things to read out all the winners. So hopefully that was read last month about all our great child and kid categories along with adults, because it was kind of a record year. I felt like the fish keep getting bigger and bigger every year. So if not, I will ask to track down those winners, because it's always a great weekend to have people come out to Rancho Seco and bring their families out and enjoy the great weather and see and learn about our SMUD programs at the Trout Derby. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Director Rose?
Yes, thank you. I have four main things I wanted to just mention. Had the opportunity, organizing it since last July, to get out and speak to the Folsom Rotary Club. This is the Historic Society in the morning, not to be confused with several of the other ones in Folsom. And we're just giving an update on where the 2030 zero carbon plan sits, and it was always just really interesting and excellent comments from the public. Former Supervisor McGlashan was there, which was fun as a Politico. So that's always good. And then the LAFCO Advisory Committee met, which is always interesting. One of the things I thought I would mention is there was a recommendation to the full LAFCO board that should have gone a week or two ago to dissolve the Del Paso Manor Water District, which I thought was worth sharing with you. If you've been tracking this, I have for about the last 10 years and sat through their board meeting about 5 or 6 years ago. They're only about like 1 or 2 square miles, so they struggle to find the capital they need to do major water improvements. And turns out there's some money potentially available from the state right now. So there's an opportunity to potentially fix their problems by merging with one of a couple other water agencies nearby. So I just thought that was sort of an interesting thing that may be coming to a conclusion for about the last 10 years. One of the cool things we did was the ribbon cutting for the Arcade Cripple Creek Trail. This is a new multi-purpose trail that runs from Citrus Heights to Orangevale. And we were involved because we're allowing them to put a big portion of that trail along a SMUD easement, which was excellent on our stuff. I've been following it and very active in it going back to, say, 2018, 2019. So it was good to see that one get across the line, and certainly thank our staff for working on it for all those years, and thank the staff who got out there with me on a Sunday morning, to do that. What else is going on? I wanted to mention, and President Herbert, you may mention this as well, but the Solano 4, we got out to the ribbon cutting of our new Solano 4 wind farm repower and upgrade. That one was only 7 or 8 years. I think it was 8 years in the making. So it's good to see another one of those long-term projects get past the finish line. And of course, I want to thank the staff for that. They were very kind to pull the big box truck in front of like where the little podium was, because it was blowing. We were at full wind production that day. It was quite windy and blustery out as well. So those are my 4 things. And then just a quick reminder to my fellow board members, there's this cool induction cooktop demo coming up next week. So hopefully I will see a couple of you there as well. So that's everything I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Rose, and I'll be at that demonstration. And I'm inviting some of the skeptics I've met in the community who just don't believe electric cooking can be as good. So we'll see. It was a busy 2 months for me. The cool thing about being the president is that you always get the first opportunity to speak to a lot of different groups. And this has definitely been one of those months. First, I want to give a shout out to the SMUD Awards. That is one of the greatest events I think that our community does. It's downtown. It's in Cesar Chavez Park, and it is so magical down there at night. And just beautiful. So I want to thank Kathy Rodriguez Aguirre for a wonderful event. I also got to speak to the Design Build Competition Industry Luncheon. And there, just like Vice President Fishman was saying, there's so many young people that were building actual small houses, that were building different places where you could try different types of equipment that is being put in, all over the country. So to me, these were high school students, and they were just so jazzed about this. And for me, that is one of the best things SMUD offers, and that is workforce development. We want those young people to come work for us, not other folks. I also got to speak at the Foundation for Advancement in Sustainable Facilities, where I got to meet our new facility director. At the event, though, were all these different vendors who work with different governmental agencies, showing them the equipment that can be purchased that is electric versus gas. And there were a lot of folks there. There was a CEC commissioner who spoke, a couple of different entrepreneurs. And I was just really struck by how many people in that room were really focused on what can we do to become more green, to go more electric. And so I want to give out a shout out to facility managers, because they're right on the edge of getting this kind of work done. Another event that I got to go to was the Locke Foundation's Asian Pacific Spring Festival. And I don't know if some of you know, but Locke is an all-Chinese town that was built along the river. It now has historical designation because of being that first Chinese town built in the United States. And I got to go to museums, lots of music and dancing, and it was just amazing. So I just want to thank Jim Fong for everything he does with the Locke Foundation, and I look forward to working with them. And then last but not least really is the Solano 4 ribbon cutting. What I liked about that is that we have replaced turbines that were good with now turbines that are even more efficient and are great. So we were able to go from 21 turbines down to 19 turbines and produce more energy. This is the kind of technology that is going to be the backbone of our 2030 zero carbon plan. And so I was very pleased to be there with Brandon and be able to meet all of the folks who were involved in that. And so with that, let me now go to our CEO's report and hear from Suresh.
Thank you, President Harbour. I would like to start tonight's report by recognizing May as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month and Military Appreciation Month. Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month gives us an opportunity to learn about and honor the unique cultures, history, and achievement of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in our community. During Military Appreciation Month, we want to express our deepest gratitude to the brave men and women who have served and continue to serve our country. A big thank you to our groups reaching across international networks or GRAIN and military employee resource groups for the work you do to provide inclusive representation for our employees through offering support, networking opportunities, and a sense of community within SMUD. Each group hosted a special event for our employees in recognition of these observances. We have also been out in the community with our partners celebrating these important observances. As you all know, as you shared just now, we cut the ribbon at Solano 4 this week, celebrating an important milestone in our journey to decarbonize our power supply by 2030. The project's increased capacity now brings the overall total to 300 megawatts annually. I'm grateful to the board for your deep commitment to our goal of a clean energy future. Thank you to those of you who were there on Monday to celebrate with us. We are getting there, and I'm excited about our next effort, our Solano 5 wind repower project, which is planned to be online in 2029. Right now, we are in the middle of our 3-week annual Learning at SMUD program. By offering employees dozens of learning sessions with a combination of in-person and hybrid events, they're able to learn from peers, subject matter experts, and special guest speakers. This in-house professional development effort demonstrates our commitment to foster a culture of growth and excellence by empowering employees with comprehensive learning opportunities. Thank you, and great work by all who made this year's lineup possible. On the theme of learning, we held 2 big events for students this month. SMUD's 11th annual Solar Regatta was a great success. High school and college students raced their handcrafted boats across Rancho Seco Lake over 2 days. Local students also gathered at Sac State and Cosumnes River College to participate in SMUD's 17th annual solar car race. And this year, for the first time, middle school students joined the high schoolers in the fun competing and racing their own solar-powered cars. Thanks to the SMUD board members who attended these events, and to our team of employees for creating engaging events for our next generation of clean energy leaders. As for awards, Team SMUD continues to shine. First off, our own Jose Bodipo member, Chief Diversity Officer, was recognized with a 2024 C-Suite Award by the Sacramento Business Journal. Jose's professional accomplishments reflect his commitment to the betterment of our workforce and of our entire region. His positive vision has fostered an inclusive company culture by ensuring all voices are included and heard. Congratulations, Jose. We were also thrilled to be recognized by the Smart Electric Power Alliance with their Equity Power Player of the Year Award for our Community Impact Plan. This is especially gratifying as it acknowledges how through the plan we are addressing energy inequities and ensuring all communities benefit from a clean energy future. Lastly, the California Department of General Services awarded SMUD the Reciprocity Partner of the Year, specifically for our supplier education and economic development. We call it SEED program. Truthfully, I'm humbled every day by what we are accomplishing together. Congratulations to all. And finally, tonight's video gives an inside look at the great work our employees are doing at SMUD substations and how they help us maintain our world-class reliability. Let's take a look.
Substations facilitate the connection of our power generation sources to our transmission and distribution system so that they can then be distributed to our customers. We play a critical role in the reliability and efficiency of SMUD's grid. Our substations are there to step down the voltage from transmission to distribution levels to distribute to residential and commercial customers.
There's a lot of troubleshooting, so there's 2 sides of it. There's the installation of new equipment, and then there's the repair and maintenance of all the stuff that's already in service.
The electrical technicians, they work hand in hand and collaboratively. They're kind of the liaison between the substation engineering team and the high voltage electricians in the field.
People look at substations as the equipment you can see. What they don't see is the thousands and thousands of wires that make it work underneath all of this.
So when you're talking about 2030 zero carbon, renewables, batteries, electric vehicles, you're talking about increased load. And we need to make sure that we are upgrading our substations and performing maintenance and building new substations to be able to support that.
The goal is anchored by our commitment to continue to provide that safe and reliable, affordable power to our customers and community, and we don't want to compromise on that commitment. I'm a second-generation SMUD employee. My father was here for 30 years, and I had the opportunity to grow up through the apprenticeship program. It's taking that dedication that you would with your own family and translating it to your work environment, and it's easy to come to work every day when you're working side by side with people that you love and care about.
When I first started in the field, I never worked with another female in my area, and I knew of very few at the company I was at. And since being at SMUD, I work with quite a few females. I've got a couple journeymen that I work alongside, and then there's 3 or 4 apprentices that are working in the department now.
All of our high voltage electricians go through an apprenticeship program. It's 4 years, which focuses a lot on safety and the foundations that they need to be able to be working safe.
Safety comes into play every day. The moment we step on campus, the moment we leave our house, lacing up our boots, putting on our FR clothes, showing up to the job site, hydrated, physically fit, tailboards, everything.
Goal number 1 is everybody goes home at the end of the day. 0 injuries.
When something's broken and you're able to fix it and repair it for the day, that's a really good feeling. Being able to put something back in service and make sure that it's working efficiently for the community, that's important.
Putting together a really good design that functions for 100 years. Something like that is really rewarding.
I love to coach, guide, mentor, and support employees. I'm really here for the people, and that's what I get up, to come to work every day for.
One of the most satisfying things about this job is knowing that we are serving Sacramento with power.
I have a huge sense of pride. The amount of work that they do, the things that we ask of them, sometimes on short notice, or long hours, or on holidays, they never waver. They do it for our community, they do it for each other. That's probably the most rewarding part about it, is the camaraderie that these guys have, working side by side.
Well, and I see we have some of the stars of the film here today. Would you stand? Can we give you a round of applause? Thank you for everything you do to keep us in power, because that's the backbone. Is there any summary to note for the record?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Well, having completed the agenda and seeing no further business, this meeting is adjourned.